Alright, well, welcome everybody. What we're going to do is go over some basics on Eotech. I don't want to get too technical because, as you probably know, holographics can get really technical. Some things that we're going to go over today are holographics. We're going to go over the different battery options on Eotech, the different base options. We're going to go over the whole true one power thing, no tunnel vision, no loss of light. We're going to go over our magnifiers, our new magnifiers, which you guys aren't carrying right now, which you're going to be. Night vision compatibility, the fact that all Eotechs are handmade. We're also going to go over basic questions on why Eotech. So let's get started with holographics. Does everybody know the difference between a holographic and an LED reflex sight? An LED reflex sight actually has your sight with a window on it with an LED that shines up on the window. So what happens is you actually get eye strain from that because you're actually getting that LED shine in your eye the whole time you're shooting. Holographics shoot up more at an angle like this and utilize a holographic picture or holographic window, three-dimensional window, which we'll go over a little bit later. The benefits to holographics are a smaller MOA dot. Your usual reflex sights run about a 4 MOA dot. All Eotechs run a 1 MOA dot. That comes in especially critical on long range shooting because a 4 MOA dot at longer ranges can get pretty big. Reticle choices with holographics are unlimited. You're not stuck with just a dot. We have a 308 reticle, a 223 reticle. We have a reticle made for the FN 303. We have unlimited choices. Our standard reticle is the what we call A65, which is that a ring with a dot in the middle, made for quick acquisition. The other nice thing is that at close quarters, usually anywhere in this ring is going to be a target. It's not just your zero. The holographic works on a system of the glass that's inside of one of these is actually like an old glass negative. Remember in the old days they had glass negatives that I put pictures on? And it's developed millions of times over a process with a laser of putting an image on the glass, taking a picture of it pretty much, so that when the laser shines up from underneath, it catches all those pictures. Anytime you move your head, wherever you move to, you're basically looking at a laser reflecting off one of those pictures. Have you guys ever looked through an Eotech? All right, good. What happens in that situation? It gives you a three-dimensional image or a holograph. It gives you the feeling that that reticle is actually being projected onto your target with nothing being projected. In turn to that, you also don't see anything on the screen this way like you would with an LED. So in close quarter darkness, people aren't going to pick you up, they're not going to see a laser, they're not going to see anything. Battery options, let's hop down to that. Battery options on our Eotechs is really what separates the difference between the models. If you look, all of our models pretty much you can get in the standard A65, they all look the same. This A65 reticle looks no different than this A65 reticle. Your biggest difference is we have a AA option, which is going to give you about, they say 600 hours, I would say more like 400 to 700 hours right in there depending on what brand of battery you're using. We also can now use a AA lithium option, which is going to give you a little bit more runtime. You're going to look at anywhere from 900 to 1,000 hours with the lithium batteries. However, they're about 3 times as much. But a lot of law enforcement now, agencies like that because they can go with the AA option, so if they're in the field, the battery goes dead, they can still pick up a set of Duracells at the gas station on the way. However, they can still run lithiums in it if they want, which aren't affected by cold weather. Other options are the straight lithium battery, which is a C123 or CR123. And then of course the little alkalines, the N-type batteries, which up here is going to run about 200 to 300 hours. The biggest downside to the alkalines that law enforcement especially have an issue with is if it's left in a car in cold weather. That cold weather will drain the alkaline right down. Of course, the larger the battery, the larger the sight. You can see the N-type battery compared to a AA, you've got quite a difference. If you've got a guy shooting a smaller rifle, like a PS90 that doesn't have the rail space, I have a AA on there, but kind of rigging it. You're going to want a shorter sight. C123 and the N-type are pretty close in size, but still smaller. That brings us into bases. We have 3 base types. We've got a quick release Picatinny, we've got a Weaver base, and then we have a straight Picatinny. Do you guys know the difference between a Picatinny and a Weaver? The
Weaver's got a lever, doesn't it?
Picatinny is a square. Weaver is round. You can put a Weaver on a Picatinny. You cannot put a Picatinny on a Weaver because your square would end up like this. So it ends up hitting. Whereas a Weaver, you can actually run it like this. So any of our Weaver bases you could run on either or because they have a round bar on the bottom. Let's see, the round bar there. Whereas a Picatinny, we've got the square bar, so you wouldn't be able to run that on a Weaver base. The quick release, right now we run a standard arms mount. We've talked about going with a LaRue mount a little bit, but right now we do the standard arms. One question I get asked all the time is, if I take this off my gun and put it back on, is it going to be still on 0? Close, but no. Anytime you take something off your gun, put it back on, whether it be your rings on your deer rifle or a quick release or a thumb screw mount, anything, whenever you put it back on, you're going to be a couple millimeters off somewhere, and that's going to adjust in the MOA to being off. So, no. Where it does come in handy is if you're in a critical situation and your batteries do die, or the back lens gets shot out or something, a malfunction, you could pop it off real easy and go. The thumb screw is pretty much almost just as quick though. So the arms base is a higher base, so you're getting a little bit of distance up. Not much of a difference, but there is a difference there. Any questions on what we've gone over so far? Either holographics, battery options, or bases?
No.
Alright, pretty standard stuff. Let's get into talking about true 1 power. True 1 power is exactly what it says. There's no magnification. There's no distortion, there's no magnification. It's a true 1 power. It's the same as if I'm looking at you right now. Whether I look through this or this is the same. What translates with that is, I like to do this test, and you can tell people to do this test over the phone. Get a paper towel tube, and I'll pass this around. If you look through 1, which is a tube situation, you'll see you actually get a tunnel vision, loss of vision to the side, loss of light. If you take this, which is about the size of our hood, and look through it, there's no loss. There's no loss of light, no tunnel vision, no vortex, no nothing. Which loss of light can be a big situation when you're talking the difference between dawn and dusk. So, magnifiers, we do get into tubes a little bit with, we carry 2 magnifiers. We carry a 3x and a 4x. The 4x is about twice the price of a 3x. 3x started at $3.99, 4x runs $4.99. Reason being